Shalom, shalom. This is Brother Marwan coming to you for another lesson. Hopefully, the spirit and power of Yahweh. Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Kakudash. Double honors always goes to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who were well. And much love to the Arkham out there that's doing this work in the name of Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, in truth and in sincerity. So I'm going to try and just do this one, just a brief lesson here. But yeah, as you can see, Tony Blair defends Iraq war. Says the former British Prime Minister has defended his decision to invade as he was trying to introduce democracy. So this man is an absolute devil, man. Every time I see this man's face, I can't stand him. I just can't wait for the Lord to deal with these guys. Well, let me put it another way. I can't wait for them to be in their chains, man, where they belong. Lord willing, us humble men get to put a stripe or two on these devils, man. And I say that because there's greater men than me that, should have the honor when the kingdom is established to have, their chance to mete out some justice on these demons, man. Anyway, so it says former British Prime Minister Tony Blair has claimed that the US-led invasion of Iraq was more justified than Russia's ongoing military operation in Ukraine, despite all of his pre-war claims since being proven false. So this man just is so prideful, he can't admit openly that they was wrong, man. It's already internationally and historically established that war was made on false pretenses, man. It was weapons of mass destructions, man. That's what they went in there for. They claimed that he had that Saddam Hussein had weapons of mass destruction, man, which was a lie. So it says, speaking to Germany's DPA and two other European news agencies, Blair stated that the invasion, in which 46,000 British troops took part, was a legitimate response. Saddam Hussein's domestic repressions and his use of chemical weapons against the Kurds. I think they missed out the word "to" there. It was a legitimate response to Saddam Hussein's domestic repressions and his use of chemical weapons against the Kurds. See, this kingdom is falling. They can't. This is an established news outlet, man, a media outlet. They can't even get the spelling correctly. But anyway, I digress. Let's move on. He says, at least you could say we were removing a despot and trying to introduce democracy, Blair says. So basically what he's saying is, look, you caught us out bullshitting, yeah, but now let's spin it. Look, at least we got rid of, listen, he wasn't any different from all the other people you claim they claim to be despots and tyrants, right? They're the real tyrants, man. These countries just want America to stay out of their business, man. All right, you've seen what's happened to these countries when America's brought their democracy and Great Britain's brought the democracy. Because let's not forget about Great Britain. And Great Britain is the mother of that whole Babylon, man. All right? Let's not forget about this country that I dwell in. It's got a lot to pay for, man. But yeah, he's trying to spin it, man. He's trying to spin it as if to say that, look, we might not have been correct on that data, but look, we got rid of someone who wasn't bothering anybody. Well, not in this side of the world anyway. And since when does any country have the right to invade another country just for the sake of invading it? That's not how war is established, man. That's not how there's what's it called the rules of engagement, man. And that's not part of the rules of engagement. All right, you can't just decide that you just want to invade someone because you don't like the way they run in their own country. That's not how it works. Unless they're an immediate threat to you, you don't have that right to do so, man. And there wasn't an immediate threat because they lied about the weapons, man. It says the invasion and subsequent occupation of Iraq ended up leading to the deaths of up to 210,000 civilians, according to the Iraq Body Count Project. Plunged into instability, the country became a breeding ground for jihadism, and much of Iraq's northern reaches fell under the control of Islamic State, IS, formerly known as ISIS, terrorists, following the US pullout in 2011, which is more bullshit as well, because that was more reason to continue to actually go in there. All right. It says Hussein had no connection to the 9/11 attacks, which we know who that was. We know that's an inside job. That's 100%, man. I don't care what anybody says. We all know this now. It's known. And claims by the US and the UK that he harbored weapons of mass destruction were bogus. Prior to the invasion, Blair falsely asserted that Iraq possessed these weapons and was working toward obtaining nuclear arms. Blair went on to claim that unlike Iraq, Ukraine is a country that has a democratically elected president who, to my knowledge, has never started a regional conflict or committed any aggression against its neighbors. So he's using this as well to spin it around on, to support Ukraine, man. Because why? Because the US and the UK, amongst other countries, are just throwing money at Ukraine and weapons for this war, man. Which they're probably gonna, and they're not doing it for they're not doing it for freedom and democracy, man. They're doing it because it's a part of their plan. I'm not gonna get into all of that because that's another lesson. But obviously, there's reasons behind the support and the aggression towards Russia. Anyway, like I said, I'm gonna try and make this a short one. Every time you say that, it never is, but that's for the spirit. Isaiah 33:1 says, "Woe to thee that spoilest, and thou wast not spoiled, and dealest treacherously, and they dealt not treacherously with thee. When shalt thou cease to spoil, thou shalt be spoiled." Like I said in previous lessons, man, the UK and US, no one's troubling them, man. But they're all up in other people's lives and businesses and politics and ideals and ways of life. All they bring, and they claim that they're freedom fighters, but they just bring destruction, man. That's why these countries in the so-called Middle East and African nations hate, and East Asia and Southeast Asia. They hate America, man. They're not foolish to the ways of Babylon, man. They know. And they know what they're about, man. It says, "And when thou shalt make an end to deal treacherously, they shall deal treacherously with thee." And that's what's going to happen, man. These countries can't wait to put a nuke up the arse of America, man. And they can't wait. You got North Korea testing the nukes all the time. Russia's always building new ones. China's got its shit together at the end of the day. So, look, man. And this country has to get it as well. All right? Let's get that out of the way. This country's got to get it as well. The UK, Great Britain, England has to get what's coming to it, man. Book of Obadiah. I'll start at 3. It says, "Behold," Slaki, it says, "the pride of thine heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground?" That's why they can get away with this, and that is why he can sit there all proud in that, saying what he's saying. Who's going to challenge him on that? Someone shouting at some conference or some lecture that he's at, just who's some random person from the public. Because that's all that's going to happen, and that person's going to just look like a madman, all right? Because you still have people to this day that believe that what they did was right, and what happened on 9/11 is the true um, story, or what they claim is the true story. People still believe that. People to this day still believe in that, man. They still believe Saddam Hussein was evil. They still believe that um, Colonel Gaddafi, Muammar Gaddafi was evil, and the likes of, man. Right? They still believe all of that, you know. So it says, what is it? Verse 4 says, though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith the Lord. Right? Where was I going? Jeremiah 51:33 says, for thus saith the Lord of hosts, the power of Israel, the daughter of Babylon is like a threshing hold. It is time to thresh her, yet a little while, and the time of her harvest shall come. Basically saying what? You know, that harvest, man, that harvest is a harvest of death. You know, because although we're talking about Tony Blair here, but he was basically the right hand man of George Bush, man, who's literally admitted the falsehoods of that. But this man, Tony Blair, he's too proud, man. He's too proud to admit it. He's too proud to admit that what they've done was completely off. So now he's got to try and spin it around and say, look, we still did this. That's like you know, let's say you're breaking into someone's house. I'm just making this up at the top of my head. You're breaking into someone's house, right? And you know, you're looking to steal all their goods. But whilst you're in there, someone's in the house and they're having a heart attack, and you save them from having a heart attack while you're in there stealing from their house. And even that's not even the same as an analogy, because at least you saved that person's life. This was complete and utter bullshit on all levels, man. So even that analogy doesn't even really cut it. And I'm going to be real, because at least if you was to do that and to save that person's life, yeah, you was doing a wicked thing, but then you ended up doing something good, right? You know, and the Lord works on judgment. He balances it out, man. So at the end of the day, when he looks upon to judge someone, he's going to look at what they've done and see how it balances out, man. Around what you know, what is that? What is your end result? But with this guy, man, they went into that place to. In fact, I don't even know why I didn't say this before. They went into that place to kill him in the first place. He's basically admitting that that's what they really went in there for, to kill him, so they could put someone else in the spot, so they could take that place over. So really, he's just admitted what they really. So for it, really, he's actually told the truth, and really admitted what they really went in there for, which was to take him out. So you know, there he is. He's thinking he's being smart, but he's just holding himself, man. Let me just get one more scripture. I'm going to close out. Psalms 58:3 says, "The wicked are estranged from the womb; they go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies." That's what they're good for, man. It says their poison is like the poison of a serpent. They are like the deaf adder that stoppeth her ear, which will not hearken to the voice of charmers, charming never so wisely. Break their teeth, O God, in their mouth. Break out the great teeth of the young lions, O Lord. They need their teeth broken out their mouths, man. They need they need to be stopped, because all they're good for is lying, and you know, people are still falling for it, man. But you know, the scripture says, how's it go? I don't want to actually. Let me see what I'm finding. What I'm thinking of. Oh. Bear with me. Damn. Let's see if I can find it like this. I'll try this. If I can't find it, then I'll have to give up. I can't find this one. Maybe I'm thinking of it wrong. No. Anyway, look, I can't find what I was looking for, but anyway, the point I'm trying to say, I'll try and paraphrase it, is, you know, basically what is in the darkness, right? Will be brought into the light, man. So all these lies that have been told, all these falsehoods, you know, and the scripture says the Lord cause their tongue to fall upon themselves, man. So they spill the beans on themselves. He just spilled the beans just now. When we read that, man, he told on himself, man. That's what the real goal was in the first place, was to kill Saddam Hussein. If they'd done enough media propaganda, they could have said, listen, we just want to go and kill Saddam Hussein. Eventually, the people would have been down for that anyway, man. But they had to go the long way around and talk about weapons of mass destruction for months and months. And then, anyway, that's it on that. That's all I've got. Lord willing, this was an edifying lesson. Pray that it was. Giving all the praise and the glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Kakadash. Until next time, I'll say shalom.